In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful gift card holder with a unique closure using a cover die from the Hero Arts My Monthly Hero March 2024 kit. And I will show how I made a similar type gift card holder with this beautiful gold tassel. Hi, this is Anna from Crafty Anna Studio. Welcome to my YouTube channel where I share paper crafting and card making tutorials. Now let's take a look at this month's kit. As per usual, the kits come in this zippered pouch. It also comes with an information card with some inspirations in the front and a list of both the classic and the premium kits at the back. This month's kit is inspired by Japanese design. There's a 6x8 stamp set with a layering stamp that features beautiful scenery similar to the ones you see on those traditional Japanese scrolls. And it comes with coordinating frame cuts that cuts out both the scenery, the elements, and the sentiments. And that's not all. It also comes with this beautiful window cover die that both embosses and cuts out a window with a beautiful abstract design. Included in the kit are 2 sheets of hero transfers with Japanese characters, perfect for mixed media. Last and certainly not least, in the classic kit comes 3 ink cubes: Periwinkle, Cherry, and Deep Ocean. The premium kit comes with all the contents of the classic kit plus more. You have this 4x6 stamp set with beautiful cherry blossom flowers and also coordinating frame cuts, as well as this pink translucent enamel dots. The value of these kits are only half of what it retails for, so it's really a good deal. If you're interested in the kit and are still on the fence about it, now is a good time to make that decision. There's a limited time offer where you get 15% off a 6-month subscription, or if you just want to get the April kit, there's a 15% discount on that as well. All you have to do is use my code ANNASubscribe2024 when you check out in the Hero Arts website. I have that all linked in the video description below. This navy and blue gift card holder is one of the 2 I will create in this video. They are both Japanese themed. They are very similar, but there are some differences as well. The navy and gold one uses an A2 size cardstock panel, and this red one will be slightly different in size, and towards the end of the video, I will show you how I made this tiny gold tassel. First, let's do the navy and gold one. I take a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 cardstock panel in navy. Then I score at 1 1/2, and then I score again at 3 3/8. Next, I take the cover die from the kit and use it to die cut the panel. I will do this off camera. After die cutting, I will use a die brush to remove all the tiny cutout pieces. Then I will trim 1/8 of an inch on either side, so the final measurement will be 4 by 5 1/2. Then I will fold in the score lines and burnish it. I will round out the corners with a corner rounder punch. Then I will brush on some anti-static powder in preparation for heat embossing. I will take an embossing ink cube and run it gently over the circular cutout area. I will also add embossing ink to the edges as well. I think this adds a little touch of elegance. Next, I will sprinkle a generous amount of gold embossing powder to the circular opening and tap off the excess into a coffee filter. Then I will swipe all the edges of the die cut panel onto the embossing powder. And then I will heat set it using a heat tool, starting at the back and then moving to the front. I will then remove the anti-static powder with a microfiber cloth. Now to determine which side is the top fold and which side is the bottom. It actually doesn't matter much in this case, but the small fold does go on top. This is the 1.5 and the other side is the 1 5/8. So the smaller of the two is the top fold and this is the bottom. Next, I'm going to add some vellum. This one is cut to 3 3/4 by 5 and I rounded the corners as well. I add a thin bead of glue at the bottom edges and then lay the vellum carefully on top, making sure the vellum was straight on all sides. Once that is securely in place, I will crease the fold with my nails or a bone folder. Fold it down and pinch it. Then I will add glue to the sides of the middle area and secure the vellum. Then crease the fold. Then finish it off by securing the topmost fold with glue. To add holes to the closure, I take a T-ruler, lay it across the top fold about 1/2 inch down from the edge. Then I mark the middle point with a pencil at 2 inches. Then I mark 1/4 of an inch on either side. I take a hole puncher and punch holes using the pencil mark as the guide. The pencil mark should be at the side of each hole, not the middle. Then to mark the bottom holes, I will simply use the top holes as a guide. I'll take a pencil and mark the middle of each hole and then take a puncher and punch those out. Now I'm going to cover the bottom holes with a thin strip of cardstock. I take a strip of navy blue cardstock and cut about a 1/4 inch strip, about 1.5 inches long. Before I glue it down, I'm going to use my fingers to bend the cardstock strip a little. This is an important step and I'll show you why in a little bit. I will add small dots of glue on either side and take the strip and lay it down right in the middle. But you can see here I'm going to leave a little gap opening, and this will allow the closure to slide in and out a little bit easier. Then I will close the bottom part of the gift card holder by adding thin beads of glue on either side and then securing it down with my fingers while the glue dries. To tie in with the Japanese theme, I'm going to use this little bamboo stick as the closure to my gift card holder. This is actually something I cut out of a barbecue stick made out of bamboo, which you can probably find in your local supermarket or an Asian grocery store. I use small pliers to cut out 2-inch sticks, and then I just use an old nail file to file off the rough edges. I wanted to add a little touch of elegance to this, so I decided to add some gold embossing. I added embossing ink to the ends of the stick. Then I dipped it in the embossing powder and then heat set it using my heat tool. Then I repeated the process one more time. Just take care not to put the heat too close to the stick as the gold embossing might bubble. Now, before I use this gold embossed stick to close the gift card holder, I'm going to take the barbecue stick and use it to widen the hole a little to make it easier to close. And because I used the barbecue stick, now I can insert this just a little bit easier. But I have another trick if you want it to be even easier to close. So I take a pair of scissors and I'm just going to cut across the holes to widen the opening. So either option will work. Now it's time to make another gift card holder. Like I said earlier, the dimensions are a little different from the previous one. And I'll also show you how I made this cute little tassel. I take an 8.5 by 11 cherry red cardstock and I'm going to cut it at 5 3/4. Then I'll rotate it to the 8.5 inch side and cut it at 4 inches. This time, instead of die cutting, I'm going to gold heat emboss the design. Hero Arts has this beautiful bold print design called Waves and Clouds, inspired by Japanese prints. I remove the acetate backing and then I place the bold print stamp red rubber side up. I apply a generous amount of anti-static powder on the cardstock panel. Then I will ink up the stamp using Versamark ink. After inking it up, I will take the cardstock panel and lay it gently down onto the rubber stamp. Then I will use this stamp press stool thingy, which I made from a cover of a candle, and use it to press down onto the cardstock panel to evenly distribute the ink. Next, I will sprinkle a generous amount of gold embossing powder and heat set it using my heat tool. If you haven't done so already, I would really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Now it's time to score the lines. When I look at this panel and I fold it over, I can see that the pattern is upside down. So what I do is, instead of scoring it this way, I'm going to switch sides and score it the opposite way. So then I'm going to score at 1 1/4, and then I'm going to score again at 3 3/4. Then I will burnish the folds with a bone folder. Next, I will round out the corners with a corner rounder punch. To mark the openings of the hole closure, I take another gift card holder and use it to mark the middles of each hole. If you plan to make a lot of these gift card holders, I suggest to make a template, so you don't have to keep measuring the locations of the holes. Then you can use the openings of the hole at the top to mark out the holes at the bottom flap. Then I will add the strip of red cardstock right here. To close the bottom flap, I will now add thin beads of glue to either side. Then I will pinch it with my fingers until the glue adheres. Then I take my scissors and I'm going to cut across each hole to make the opening bigger, just like I did with the other gift card holder. Then I'm going to add a little notch, and this will help to keep the tassel in place. This is of course optional. I'll do this by using a smaller hole punch. Now it's time to make those cute little small tassels. I'll be using gold metallic embroidery floss for the tassels. First, I cut some floss about 6 to 8 inches long. Then I divide the strands of threads in half. One half I will thread through an embroidery needle. And the other half I will set aside to use later. I will unwind the thread and then get some washi tape ready. I will use this dinner fork to make the tassels. I tape one end of the floss to the tines of the fork. Then I will wind it around the fork about 4 to 5 times depending on the thickness of the floss. If your floss is thin, then you may need to wind it more times. Then I will secure it to the fork with washi. Next, I will take the floss that I had set aside earlier and loop it through the topmost tine of the fork. Then I will tie a double knot and make sure it's nice and tight. Since I do not want to risk it slipping or getting untied, I will add a small dab of glue. Then, I will trim off the excess thread. Next, I will take the embroidery needle with the floss threaded through and carefully insert the needle under the tassel head. This will make threading the floss so much easier. Then I will carefully remove the needle from the floss, then secure it with another double knot. I will then remove the tassel from the fork, then cut the loops and trim the tail of the tassel. Next, I will tie a small loop and then loop it through the opening of the gift card. The little notch that I had punched out earlier will keep the tassel in place. I hope you found this helpful and you learned something new. If you're interested in any of the products I used in this video, I have them listed on my blog, which is linked in the video description below. Thank you for watching. Till next time, bye!